G'day boys. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can dominate with Sonar. Sonar has amazing abilities which you can play very passive and very aggressive in different play styles. So it can kind of work for any kind of player that you are. She excels in getting early information and gaining map control and defense, as well as getting a lot of early info on both sides. She can utilize her surge ability with getting 1v1s, pushing people off angles, and getting a really nice surprise attack with her silent step. If you like mixing up and being aggressive, as well as being a very defensive and supportive player, she's the perfect fit for you. And I'm going to be going through all of her abilities in game. So you're going to be getting examples from all my Punkmaster games of how I play her against other Punkmasters. Obviously, this is not going to be a one-for-one, which is going to happen and replicate in your own games, but it's going to give you an idea of how to use your abilities, some game plans, and game sense when doing so. Before I get into using examples from my gameplay of how I use her abilities, I'm just going to run through her abilities real quick. So you got her echolation device here, which pings every couple of seconds of people who are moving. So we're gonna go right up here and show you that it will ping this guy, but it won't ping this guy. Ready? See, you can get the tinge outline through walls and stuff when they move, but if they're standing still, they don't get pinged. So keep this in mind when you are using it, that if people can stop, so they can time it perfectly with the sounds, then shift walk up, and then wait for it to ping again. So this is what happens when you do the counter. You wait for the sound, ping, and then you start shift walking, you wait, and then you walk again. So it can slow people's pushes and stop them from taking control if they don't want to be pinged and get live pinged. Second off, her surge, which is her E ability. Basically, you can do this to isolate 1v1s, and when you get them in your beam, it highlights all the enemies who get hit by it, and then it makes them go jump up essentially. But usually people run out of it, so they don't get jumped up and stunned. So people would usually run out of it, and that will see the outline run outside of it, which allows you to pre-fire them or get info of where they're moving to. So they can be moving back site. So then you're like, oh, there's one back site. So it gives you more info as well as clearing back site's positions as well. So if someone's sitting back on B, you pop that, they either have to sit in the stun or run out of it into your line of sight. So keep that in mind. You can also isolate 1v1. So someone's holding an angle, you can push them off it as well with it. And her last ability is silent steps. This silences your steps as well as your teammates who are nearby completely. So this allows you to get to fast pushes without giving any early info of you doing a fast push. Because usually you can hear people running down certain A or B mains or mid, and they're like, oh shit, it's going to be a full rush. I hear lots rushing. But this allows you to kind of delay that info with using the silent steps. So here I always love to go for early info. No matter what map I played, I always go early info. For this one, I put my echolocation device up to get early info towards B. Usually they cannot break this unless they get a good nade lineup with it. As you see, they're nade spamming me. They're getting info where I am as well. But alas, we're just trading info at this point. But this allows my teammates to know that there is 3 towards B main, so they can go aggressive towards mid or A depending. You can see on the minimap up ahead that there is 2 A and 3 B, so someone could go aggressive mid here, but no one chooses to. I see my teammate here going towards B main for a peek, so I decide to use my surge ability to assist him in trying to get a kill. However, he did fall off and not commit to the peek, which is understandable, but I do get the info that 2 are still in B main. Me and my teammate kind of line up to go for a push here, so I use my silent steps to go and try and catch them off guard. However, my teammate doesn't commit, and I just continue on to get that free 1v1 isolation because of the silent steps, and they're not expecting me to do so. I gotta go full screen for this because I gotta address this importance. When you use silent steps, it gives an audio notification to the whole lobby that you've used it. So you need to be careful because in higher lobbies, people expect you to push when you activate this because they have the info that I'm on B. I've used all my abilities on B. They know I'm around this bomb site, so I'm either going to be pushing mid or I'm going to be pushing B main. So people can expect that. And the point of it is to kind of surprise them with it because they're not expecting the silent push up. But when you use that ability, they kind of hone in on the choke points where you can push. So you got to be careful of that and kind of use it when you kind of feel that you can get the advantage on them. Because sometimes you use the ability and then you go around the corner, 3 people are waiting for you to push because they know you're on that side. So just be mindful. You can maybe use a fake out ability, so you use it and then they kind of halt their push a little bit, waiting for you to push, seeing where you pushed. But fake out abilities rarely work in my experience, and it's just a waste of ability because you only get 6 abilities, 2 of each. So using one just for a fake out can just kind of ruin your chances of maybe using it for a retake or later on in the round. How I do get some nice kills at the end of the round because of my my ability usage and the nice choke shotgun card that I got in the game. As you can see, I expect him to be in that position. I surge him out of that, making him run away and allowing me to get kind of a free kill on it because he's out of position and not ready for my push. Here's another early info spot. You can run up A stairs here, pop this down, and then dash straight back out before someone at A long or A apartments can peek you. You can get this popping, and then if anyone goes towards A short or towards A long, you kind of get that info on them when it pings them. Just be careful, because sometimes when you go for these aggressive info plays, that you can be caught off guard from them pushing. So sometimes it's better just to go in, put the sonar device down, and then run back onto site and make sure, because you can get that early info and you're still alive. Because if you try to commit too much to the angle, turn it into a 5v4, and then your whole utility will be wasted. That means you can't use it for retakes, you can't use it for re-aggressing into late rounds or anything like that. So sometimes it's better just to put it down and run away. Here's me using my silent step to help my teammates push me. I got a Corona and he commed that he's just going to go aggressive mid, so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go with him, use silent step. I should have used it a little bit later in this context because they can't hear my footsteps until we're nearly at the box. So I should have waited, I should have dashed and then used my silent step, because it would have given more distance of no steps being heard. However, the round ended up pretty well anyway, so but I'm trying to give you the best examples possible. So that was my mistake. I popped it too early, but sometimes you need to pop it on the barrier because that allows you to get some running distance in as well. So it kind of depends on which part of the map you're at. But for this instance, I should have waited a little bit, then popped it. Ooh. Remember, if you're enjoying this content, make sure to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And here's another game I'm going to show you that I dominated in. This is just me taking A shot control. I usually do this every single round on this map because it's such a great thing to do. I go straight up here. I can contest mid straight away. I heard no one pushing. I'm going to close the door there and then I go back and watch the vents. You can hear that guy drop down, so I get that info from it. So I can completely hold A short here. So when you hold A short, you hold the split onto A and they're forced into this little choke point right here. So if you hold this, they don't come down mid, they don't flank, they don't lurk, and they've all forced to run through this choke point, which can be very, very terrible for the enemy team because there can be traps. People can spam nades over here into the choke point and just do a nice amount of damage. They have to come through here, clear all the traps, and they get caught in the crossfires here. And also if I come back from short, I can crossfire here. And it's just an absolutely not fun site to take. So going A short and taking this control really shuts down an A push. It also gives you early info if they're fighting towards mid. And if your teammates are fighting mid, you can help them fight mid. However, you must be warned that they can beat you there. So you can be about here and they can be there. So careful on that. If they just knife out dash, they can beat you to that door and they can get that door control. But depending on the people you're playing, they might not elect to do that. Some people might, and you might just get put into an early 1v1. But if you win the 1v1, then it's highly beneficial for the rest of the team. And here you can just see them getting mopped up. Where they're just getting teammates are just nades spamming them like non-stop, spraying them down here. They just get caught. Like just as I said, they get caught into that disgusting choke point and it ends up just being a fat L for them. This usually happens every time people come to this choke point without a good strategy or a good execute. I'll show you again. I do the exact same thing. We go take A shot control. I hear the footsteps at the start of A main as well. And this is... I was about to fight Dex here. I get that early mid control. They're not mid. I heard some towards A main. Chum's going for the rotate already. And this time I was feeling like, you know what? I might go and clear the rest of mid because I think they're stacked towards A once again. And because I went so aggressive onto A short, I managed to flank very fast behind and get free two kills from it, which allows us to get a nice clean retake. And that all happened solely because I did push A short, get all that mid control, and let my team rotate. Even though one of my teammates didn't rotate, it helped push and add that pressure to the site. Well, not pressure, and the defense to it. And yet again, next round, I'm going for aggressive A short control again. But this time they're going towards B and they're taking the mid control. I do my silent step to get up, get nice and close. And here I'm in a 1v1 engagement. One, I get that free. Well, it's not really free, you know, I got to contest for it, but I get that kill, making it a 5v4 instantly. And I also got the info that another person is mid. That allows my teammate to apply pressure and we can take mid together. We also get another pick on B site, so we think it's going to be try and be a B split. Yet again, A short is completely shut down, and that's a key part of the map. I can't stress this enough when it comes to taking map control with Sonar. She can be very good because of that early info and her abilities to push people off angos and surprise them with the silent step. In combination, all three abilities can be very, very deadly. This is why I love playing Sonar, because you can play very aggressive with her, get very early info, surprise the enemy, and also contest 1v1s with her surge. So using this combination can allow you to, for example, get A short every single round of this game and completely shut them out of it. And that's the problem. This is why they lost. This is why they got stomped, is because I shut them down A short and they rarely wanted to contest me. And that's their fault, because they end up winning no rounds because of it. You see here, me and Chum are fighting towards mid. I'm fighting from A short because I've got that control, and we've got the bomb down here, so they have to come and fight us. That's another easy free kills. And just because I'll let you see the 4K. Oh, did I just flex? Dude, did I just flex on him? Ain't no way I'm fucking emoting. I'm low-key toxic like that. What the heck? And there it is, baby. The cheeky little 4K. I'm gonna keep showing this. Even with dimensional travel, I still take A short control because of how important it can be. So in this scenario, the Sonar altered, not altered me, should have did her Sonar ability, because that would have made it more fair, made it less easier for me to climb up and push short.
Reloading.
Fucking dirty. And I'm going to show you the exact same thing, the exact same game, taking A short again. Here we have Sonya pushing from mid to try and catch me off guard. I win my one. Get my nice free health pack right there. Try and play for the sounds and then re-aggress. Ideal here would just to be chill and wait. Don't push anymore because they'll be waiting for me, but I'm fucking feeling it, so we're just sending it in. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Now here's the example on attacking side. I do the exact same thing. I take A short control because A short is very detrimental in this game. It allows for easy rotates, good split onto A, and you can shut down mid. If you don't take it on defense, it allows them to roam free in that mid area without any contestment. And that's why I always take A short on attacking, because it shuts them down from taking that. I think in this map, it's very detrimental and people should always be fighting for it. So in this one, you can see the Sonya is doing the exact same thing that I did, was taking short control. But instead of him doing his Sonar pulse, which I would do, he just does silent step to run straight into mid to fight my team and get potentially an early pick, which is what you can do. But I prefer playing it a little bit more safe, getting that Sonar pulses, because when you're in the vents and you put the Sonar down, it stops them from moving because it only pings in intervals, right? So you have to stop, wait for the ping to go by, and then you move again. Then you got to stop and let the ping go by again. So it stops the vent player from fighting you as well, the mid player. So you kind of segregate these 1v1s. So you can 1v1 the guy in mid, close the door, and then 1v1 the guy in vent if it's been pinged, or you have a kind of like a spidey sense tingling because of his maybe taked it last round, or he used some abilities that you heard because of the sound cues. So it's entirely up to you, but I really prefer don't just silent step unless you're silent stepping with maybe another teammate so you can get traded out. We'll watch it again. He fights, he gets my teammate, and I get the retrade, which in this sense is amazing. A retrade that early in the round is great, and look at that, boom, I've got A short control. Yet again, I'm doing the exact same A play, pushing aggressive with my Sonar ult to push him off the A short angle. My teammate come and help me here. He does the same thing, and that pushes him completely off A short. He doesn't want to contest me. He's a bit scared about it, and honestly, understandable to be honest. I'm on fire this game, winning all the duel. That surge I just did there backside is very good, especially because you're taking A short control. You can use your abilities in the A site. Here, a lot of people like to sit backside and around this pole. If you use your surge, go straight across, and it can ping all enemies in this little line here and distract them and push them off this line, because people usually hold these angles into short. into the A main choke and all that kind of stuff. So having that ability to use to help your team push can be vital in some pushes, because it stops them from the nade spamming and stops them from holding angles. Catch the pathogen with his pants down. I get surged. Makes me push out, so, you know, bit of a waste because he's not going to be utilizing with it, but now he knows. But now I know where he is. Push it. I don't get the notification that he's there, but I still know that he's in that situation. And I ping him with the actual dance because he gave away his presence with the surge. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to waste your abilities, because when you waste your abilities, one, you have to wait until they recharge, and two, it gives away your position. When you surge, I know exactly where you came from. So if you're not going to capitalize on it, you need to fall back or reassess your position, because at the end of the day, I know exactly where you are and you've got your ability on cooldown now. So I can resurge you. Kind of sounds weird, but I can resurge your ability. Also, I can calm that as 1A main. So if you do use a surge, you're either helping your teammates or capitalizing on a 1v1. Don't just use it like that guy did, because solely you already had the info that I was short because I killed your teammate, and he did it maybe to ping more teammates, but he didn't ping any more of my teammates. He only pinged myself. So he only got the info that he already knew and wasted ability and gave away his position doing so, because I didn't originally know he was an A main. So he could have sat there and played a very tactical role and maybe got one or two of us running out, because we wouldn't be looking towards A main. So use your abilities wisely, but don't hold on to them like it's a fucking clutch thing, okay? Just use them when you need to, okay? I see a lot of people just holding onto abilities. They have fucking every single ability still in their kit at the end of the round. It's like, the fuck are you doing, brother? Use your abilities, but don't be wasteful that give away your position. Right, so here you see I'm underneath B, and I pop my sonar pulse, which completely clears the top of this little garden area here. It allows you to push up in the mid because it pings all the people around here as well. That kind of forces him to run back. See, as you can see, I'm in a 1v2. I know where they kinda are. They're probably watching the bomb. And you see here, I've got the pathogen's heal. So I know one's going to be in that heal, at least one. Because obviously, why would you put your healing down if you weren't in it? So I know one's going to be around there. I just need to know where the other second person is. He misses a shot on me, thank God. So I know one's there and one's going to be there. So I anticipate that guy's going to swing off Donk's contact, which he does. I get insta headshot, which turns it into a 1v1. So then I do have my my stun out. So I hold it down to clear him off the angle. I get the ping. He falls off. I go, fuck it, I'm gonna get the bomb. I nearly die by the nitro tulip, but I'm just too smooth with it. And I go straight back to site. I'm planning, and I know he was CT. So you think I went from window or CT? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go fucking stun this and get the early info. I get the info he's pushing out. Sadly, I can't concentrate and get the headshot, but you can see how every time I've used my ability, it's the intention to catch someone in it and get the info for where they are, because usually what happens, you get the notification, like the little outline, the wall scan, and obviously they're not going to stay in it, because if they're standing, they were shot in the air, so they're going to swing you, and when you get that swing, you can pre-fire headshots. Sadly, I whiffed on this one. So always use your abilities with intentions, because some people just don't use them. But when you have someone that you think is going to be in a certain position, you can just hold your E down and push them off that location, or push them or make them push into you so you can get a free kill. Because usually how it usually goes, you do get kills, but I was on 1 HP, so I didn't end up getting the kill on this guy. But fair play to him. A good use for silent step is just doing it straight off the bat, because some people listen to footsteps at the start of the round to identify where the enemy team is coming from. But if you use silent step, you can run out and get into a little advantageous situation. This works B main, A main, mid, wherever you're kind of pushing. And for this, I just kind of run up because they're completely unaware of me in mid, and this helps me isolate and get a free kill. So just like that, 2 people are dead in mid because of the silent step, and the guy that was down B main did not, B short, did not hear us. This strategy here is my go-to strategy when I play this map. I always play mid, and I always usually try to do this to stop any mid aggression and get that early info towards A main. So you see I'm molly, my teammate nades, and I go put down my fucking pulse to get any pings A short, sorry. Because usually when people split towards A, they go A short and A long. But when they go A short, I literally get free pings on them constantly, which helps my A short player get kills and control that part of the map. Okay. So what you're gonna see me using here is a Sonic Surge to clear off any people being aggressive on B short here. And you use this usually by lining up with your minimap. So I just look at my minimap and see where the Sonic Surge is gonna land, and that's how I charge it up. So as you see, the Kismet's gonna get caught here because I charge it up and I ping it when it gets to that choke point. And it pushes at him off the angle, forces him down, away, back off B site, and you can take and move on with that pressure. Because usually it's quite congregated in this area here because people love to wall it off, people love to push, get aggressive. Like this guy just went to pre-nade me, but because I surged, I got that early info that he was pushing and I pushed him off with that pressure. So now we've got B short for free. And now if my team wants, we can split into B because I've got all this B short control, and then I'll go put up my my sonar to get the info of any players playing in heaven, as well as any traps, because pings all traps in its area of effect. So effectively, when you go to push side, you always want to put one down near the entry points and chokes because it will ping all the traps for your teammates to shoot before going in. And especially when you go onto a site with a nitro and a pathogen and all these other traps like chums and stuff, sometimes it gets very chaotic and people just end up dying and taking a lot of damage from these traps. So if you get it pinged early, people will know, like, all right, if I pick this corner, procedure's clear, I'm gonna go straight for both the nitro bots, I'm gonna go for the poison on the ground and all this kind of stuff. So it really helps your team push in with not taking a lot of damage and getting stuck on those nasty crossfires. Crossfires with the utility damage, sometimes you just end up getting wiped. So that really does support your team by giving that extra info. So the pathogen rolls off and I'm like, okay, sweet. I hear the healing, so I'm just gonna pop this, get the info of where the enemies are. And that pings all three of them. This helps my team push into sight, but I'm getting swamped when I'm here by myself. Do some early damage. My teammate plants without... See, I don't know what... My teammate's completely fumbled this situation, but my team runs into CT and this guy just plants without even fucking doing it. And my fucking... Oh, my fucking hollow points is fucking chilling with my other teammate, even though we had full B short and B main control. So it was a bad execution by my team, but I did a good job getting all the info and providing the pressure early on. Key thing is you can pre-amp your abilities. So when you're in the spawn wall, you can pre-amp it. So you can hold out now like this, so you can charge it up quicker for a quicker execution. And then again, I get him again. He's just trying to get pre-nade damage for early round. I get that info that he is pushing and I push him off it. And I use my silent step to get away and rotate very quickly because my teammates are going towards an A push. I pop a nade to see if I can get any extra damage, see if he's pushed up. He has. That nade did miss him, however, as you see on the minimap. And I'm like, this guy's doing the same thing again. So then following up around, I do the exact same thing because I'm like, what is he doing, you know? He's going way too aggressive. Because of that, I get a free kill. So that game sense and that knowledge of him doing it and me mixing it up from the surge to the nade allows me to get a free pick into the round. If I have another kill, just like that, it's a fucking 3v5. We have a good chance to take A side. Here you can see the enemy is pushing down mid, so I decide that I'm going to silent step and do a fast flank so I can help my teammates because they're kind of getting A crunch at the moment. I do, however, fail because there is someone still watching top mid. Closing that distance is quite vital when you are flanking as well, because once they start pushing full sending, like, it's hard to catch back up to them if you want to stay silent. So that silent steps kind of closes in that distance, which can help quite a lot. However, I was unaware of the guy top mid and got blasted. Here I'm just holding a dirty little angle into mid, capitalize on a free kill, and then my teammate says he heard one towards B, so I end up using my echo device to see if that is true, as well as get that any info, because they could be pushing A, and if that gets no pings, then more likely that it's going to be more of a hit. So that info allows my teammates to rotate and for us to push mid. Here's this like a little nade spam that I like to do, especially when I'm playing B site. This gives you that early damage indicators, and this allows me to put my eco devotion down to ping how many enemies are pushing. I nearly died because I pulled out my nade pistol, so luckily I didn't die, but this shows you that it pings 3 players towards towards B, sorry. This kind of gives all that info for my teammates to rotate and back us up. I also used my surge to stop the planter. However, I did miss it, but you can stop people from planting with the surge because one, it knocks them up in the air, which stops them from planting. So you got to do it relative when they start planting, like nearly right at the start, because it has that wind up time to burst them into the air. So you can actually stop people from planting using this, but you got to be quick to the ball with it. Here I use my surge towards mid because I see that they're playing very aggressive in towards mid. So I use my surge, someone that is contesting a shot, to hopefully catch him and allow my team to get and capitalize that kill on him. However, it doesn't work out, but this is another way that you can utilize your ability through walls because it does have quite a large distance, so you can kind of catch people off guard with it, especially if it's coming from behind them. This makes them push out or push into the line of sight of your teammates, which sometimes can be a good or a positive. I then pop my echo device to see if they're trying to split towards short as well, because they have taken complete mid control from us. So this helps me try and shut down this little area of the map. So for this, I was like, come on team, let's just go rush 5-0. Let's just send it off with a big bang. I'll silence step B main, allowing us to push up a bit further before getting detected by obviously our audio cues from footsteps, and then use my echo device to ping any traps on the site so our teammates don't get slowed down or delay the plant, because pathogen mollies and stuff are quite really annoying and it can delay the plant quite a lot, which allows the enemy team to rotate. But once you ping all the traps, your teammates can easily shoot them and enter the site safely. I also hold out my my surge to make sure that if anyone is pinged, I can pop it, and because the distance it reaches backside on B, so if someone's playing back on B and my teammates get pinged, that's why I'm always looking at the map. Allows me just to ping them off that that heady or that backside angle, allowing my teammate to either push and fight him or just allow him to retreat backwards. It kind of just depends on what your team's feeling, but if you surge another enemy, that gives info for your teammates to either frag him or readjust their style. And then again, another person is flanking, so instead of just wide swinging like a maniac, I use my ability, then I swing, allowing me to capitalize on another kill. I'm going to call the video here. I could give plenty more examples and go on to different maps, but I think I've explained the abilities well enough and given enough examples for you to use and base them off. If you have any questions, leave the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer them. But all in all, I think this is a pretty well-rounded video of how to dominate people in Fragpunk with Sonar. I personally love Sonar. I think she's an S tier hero to me, but obviously in the grand scheme of things, she's not really an S tier. I would say she's more of an A tier hero, but if you really like playing aggressive and defensive, I think Sonar is the perfect pick for you. Anyway, boys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. Mwah.